I am Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Susie.
And we're paranormal specialists who live in the most haunted city on earth, Savannah, Georgia. Every day is Halloween in our line of work, so join us as we spin true tales of haunts, murders, and disturbing Savannah history. I'm Madison.
I'm Chris.
And welcome to the most haunted city on earth. For what I lack in eyesight, I make up in all my other senses.
Whee!
And it's not helping.
Yeah,
in
it's
this
not pleasant. It's not a
situation.
pleasant scent that's happening because it's a mix of.
Oh, God.
You see what I mean?
Ooh,
it
Lord.
is a conconction of horrific smells.
Oh, no.
It is not a promising event that seems to be coming down.
Yes, it
the line
is.
here.
We're going to have a great time. Seriously, we're going to have a great time.
JT's watched way too much Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm not a fan of any food-related or drink-related dares. As a matter of fact, my friend wanted me to go on the Great Race with him, and I was like, I can't because I can't eat gross things. I can't eat disgusting
God.
things. JT did not ask me at all about this prior to, and so you can imagine
Like
how
20
happy I am to be here right now.
Like 20 minutes before he goes, Chris, do you have allergies?
Right. He said food
That's
allergies. I was
about
like,
it.
I don't know, are there cupcakes?
Well, I was buying. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I'm sorry, Chris. Now I feel bad.
He's
Hold on.
not sorry. He's
No,
never
I do.
sorry.
I am. All right, let me pull up the Patreon. Let me go. All right. Good stuff. Maddie, go ahead and start us up.
All right, then. Okay. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Most Haunted City on Earth. My name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Susie.
And I'm JT Timmons.
And we are reluctantly sitting here today with you.
Can they see this setup?
If you're
Is it-
watching
is it
on
wide enough?
YouTube.
Yeah, if they're watching on YouTube, then they can see some of the cups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you're watching,
Mainly you.
If you're watching on TikTok, you'll get to see the great reactions that will come out of this, I'm sure. So if you're listening to this and wondering what I am talking about, well, JT has decided to spice up our lives a little bit.
It's season 4, y'all. This is exciting.
Yes, soft launch on season 4. Yeah.
Just tell them what y'all won.
God. We won a great prize. So JT decided that he wanted to spice up Ghostmail because that's everybody's favorite episode that we do.
Yeah, well, why would we keep doing what everyone loves? We should change it.
We should.
Brilliant, JT.
That's what
So what he has decided,
exactly what I've been criticized for my entire life.
he's an Aquarius, like heavily Aquarius placement. So
I'm just always like, make it better.
So he has placed an assortment of liquids in mysterious cups in front of us. And so basically, we are going to read y'all's ghost mail that you have sent in to us, but he has gone through them.
Yes.
And he has left some blanks in there that Chris and I are going to have to fill in. So if we get it wrong, essentially, from what I've been able to gather, is if we get it wrong, he will spin a little thing on an app to pick a number, and we have to
You should have
drink.
told me I have a live wheel.
Oh,
Well,
that we
if
could've
dang.
spun.
if they like this, maybe we'll
Yeah.
bring the live wheel.
Of course, it has 12 places on it.
Oh, looks like I get more options.
No, you just put 4 free passes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I
I
love
like
that.
that.
That's cool.
There you go.
All right, we're gonna do that next time we do this. This is great. First, I want to. We'll get more into the game because I have a description written out. But I want to thank our newest Parajunkies first. We would love to thank Don Nielsen, Deanna, Kelly Malik, Marcus Ludvigsen, Cheyenne Mingay, and Devin. Thank y'all so much for joining the Parajunkie family. Y'all, we are so close to 100. It's insane. We're at 97 right now, currently. Woo! I know. It's extremely exciting.
How about if we get to 100 Parajunkies, you have to drink a smoothie of all the liquids you made
We
us
are,
drink.
wait,
When
whoa.
did this? What?
You are brutal because we are
We are
definitely
not
getting to
jumping
100.
the shark.
I'm jumping the shark.
No, that's insane. That's crazy. Because we're definitely getting to 100.
At 100, we do an overnight here.
Okay.
We'll film an overnight investigation in
here. Okay.
Underground.
That sounds pretty cool.
We'll live it for the Patreon people.
Okay. I'm about that. I think that's
too.
a great
that
idea.
Sounds good.
All right. So let me go ahead and explain this game to y'all. New season, new segments. We're testing out turning our extremely popular Ghostmail segment, where listeners send in their personal ghost stories, into a wicked game. This is how it's played. It's quite simple. I read the stories you send in, and I leave out a part. We finish and discuss the story as usual, but before we move on, they have to answer a question about the part I left out. If they get it wrong, they spin. Here, I have 8 black cups with corresponding numbers to the wheel.
Fun.
4 cups contain delicious, yet mysterious, craveable, yum yum in my tum-tum liquid. The other 4... I'm a poet, y'all. The other 4...
I don't like the term liquid.
Just yum yum in my tum-tum liquid.
Liquid. Once you say liquid, you're like, okay.
It's no longer ice cream.
Yeah.
The other 4 of the 8 black cups, well, let's just say I'm getting them back for the meow extravaganza from last week.
Oh, like that's going to stop us now.
It's only going to get worse from here.
All right. So let's go ahead and get into our first story. All right, we got some good ones. Now, I've actually reviewed these. Because I had to create the questions off of them. All right. The first one is from Jeff. It's called Silly Reoccurrences. New listener, but a big fan already. Currently in the middle of Season 3, Episode 25, and thought I would share 2 vivid and very odd reoccurring nightmares I had as a kid. Both took place in my hometown and or house, and I was always very aware of where I was.
Okay.
First story. I'm the passenger in a 70s model VW Bug, and we are traveling fast down a large hill. I turn towards the driver, but he is hunched over and facing his door. After a few moments, he wheels around quickly and screams at me. My passenger door opens, and he pushes me out of the door. I fall on the pavement and roll continuously down the hill. Then I wake up. It should be said that the driver was the animated form of blank, like in the 90s cartoon, LOL. My parents had a VW Bug before I was born, and I would periodically watch the blank cartoon, but this is the only 2 connections I can make. The fall obviously didn't hurt me physically, but it was enough to make me visibly disoriented when I jolted awake. Number 2, I exited my house and walked down the patio steps into our backyard. Standing in front of a large tree is the planter's peanut man. Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's terrifying. We were just talking about scary mascots.
The synchronicity.
I know. He smiles, waves his cane like a magic wand, and I'm suddenly thrown violently into the air and fly backwards at a very fast speed. I can see my neighborhood vividly underneath me as I continue to launch away from my house. My legs start to tingle as I start to descend rapidly, and I awake in a sweat just before I hit the ground.
Oof.
So, probably not a run-of-the-mill kind of thing. The dreams are completely ridiculous, and even as a kind, I understand that and found it funny, but I am not exaggerating when I say both were very vivid and felt so real, it makes me feel weird to this day. I have nothing against the peanut community and don't have a nut allergy either. Thanks for your time. Sending you all love and support from the Great White North. Cheers. Jeff, Vancouver, BC.
Nice.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I had recurring nightmares growing up as well. And one of the things that I noted was how dedicated my brain was into kind of fooling me into thinking that it was reality. How very much I felt like even though there was, all the telltale signs of a dream, it was so vivid, it was so tangible, and I think that is a way that your brain tries to like trick you into staying in the dream. It's something, and recurring dreams generally have something to do with trying to get a message through from your subconscious, and so they don't want you to wake up. They don't. Your brain does not want you to snap out of it. It tries to keep you in the dream as long as possible. Also, Mr. Peanut Sorcerer is terrifying. That's a terrifying thing.
That's a horrifying concept.
And I guess, he's got to have some magic properties, right? He's a walking, talking peanut.
Well, I mean, it's not
with a monocle. He has a monocle, right?
No, that's actually a Mandela effect.
No. That's Mr.
That's
Mr.
Monopoly.
Oh, the Monopoly guy?
I believe.
Oh, yes, that's right.
I believe.
Yeah.
Mr. Peanut has, which might be the cross in our brain.
That is
Right.
the
He's
cross.
got
That is the
the
cross.
top hat. He's got the monocle. He's got the cane.
That's it.
And monocles have never been worn by good guys.
It's true.
Like
No, guess not.
a monocle.
Penguin?
Penguin and villainous German spies. They're all monocle wearers. Also, if there's any monocle wearers listening, I'm not calling you out.
Wear your monocle if you want. It's not uncommon for people to have fears of animations for some reason.
Oh, sure.
My sister.
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah. My sister had this horrifying fear of Bruce, the shark from Finding Nemo.
Well, yeah, he's terrifying. If you were a small child, he took up the entire screen with his teeth.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Well, so she had this reoccurring dream that Bruce, the shark, would flood our house and then eat all of us.
That's terrifying.
It's horrifying. Honestly, a really good plot for a horror movie. But
a bunch of shark getting together and being like, all right, how we do this? We're all Australian too. Crikey.
Fish are friends, but humans
Not food.
Humans
Played
are
by the actor Eric Bana.
No way.
Ah.
I had no idea.
It's true.
Well, there you go.
All right, y'all ready for the question?
Sure, bring it.
Okay. Story 1, Jeff. Question. In story 1, what iconic character do you think the driver or the person resembled? A, Beetlejuice. B, Johnny Bravo. C, Dexter from Dexter's Lab. Or D, Arnold Shortman from Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold wasn't 90s. Yeah, I think that was early 2000s.
I will say this, all of these are 90s.
Are they?
I think
Okay.
All of them are 90s.
straddled.
I've like researched all
I
that.
feel like Johnny Bravo would make sense because when I hear 1970s Volkswagen Beetle, I hear Ted Bundy. Who looks the closest like Ted Bundy? Probably Johnny Bravo. That's still a stretch, but that's at least where my mind goes. Because I thought you were, before you said it was an animated character who was kicking you out of the car, I thought you were dreaming about Ted Bundy because if you're a freak like us, that's who I would be dreaming about.
Well, and it's intriguing because I think there were at least one or two clues to the idea that this doesn't have just an animated form, which leads me to Beetlejuice, because Beetlejuice was both live action and animated, and it sounded like some of the wording about it made it sound like there might be a live action version of the cartoon, and I don't know because the whole scenario sounded like Large Marge from Pee-wee's Adventure, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Large Marge turns and does the scream, and that was Tim Burton who did Beetlejuice. Also, I think the turning and screaming.
That's very Beetlejuice.
Because I don't think of any of those other characters as really doing the scream, a big scream. Although it would be hilarious if it was Dexter.
That would
because
be.
I can't imagine Dexter would be able to reach the gas pedals.
Right.
So I'm just imagining like Dexter standing on the driver's seat with his weird German accent.
All right, so we have Johnny Bravo and we have
Beetlejuice. I think is what I'm
Yep.
leaning
All
towards.
right. The correct answer is, I'm going to go ahead and read it correctly now. It should be said that the driver was the animated form of Beetlejuice, like in the 90s
it.
cartoon,
Animated
LOL.
form.
Oh God.
You're smart, man. You're smart.
I don't listen enough, I guess. Oh God.
My parents had a VW Bug before I was born, and I would periodically watch the Beetlejuice cartoon. All right, Maddie, let's spin. Spin it up.
I'm scared.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any way to show?
Go ahead. Spin.
Wait.
Is it, yeah, it's
How
just
do I
down
press
here. Yeah, I'll
that?
spin for
Okay.
you. All right, you got
Spinning.
2.
Show it to the camera.
Oh, we got 2.
Oh God. I don't like.
So that's 2 right
I don't
there?
like the milky coloring of this.
I also don't like that there's so little in there.
Right.
Because it suggests that it's really bad. Look what that giggle guy over here.
God. It's lemon juice.
Just straight up.
Yes, it is. It's just straight
juice.
lemon.
That's not that bad. I'm gonna.
No, they rank. They rank from, that's probably number 1 on the bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I mean, number 4 on the bad.
I like sour things, so that's not that
that's
bad.
not oh, as you drink your lemon water. All right. Let's go on to the next one.
Next one.
Splendid.
Don't worry, y'all. They get worse.
Oh, God.
All right.
Where should I, Debria? Should I hand you the discard? So
Yes. There we go to Brutals. Good stuff. All right.
It's like a weird Russian roulette.
I
we're
know.
playing.
Here we go. Little Girl Ghost from Natalie. Hi, friends. I am in Paris on a family trip, and we are staying in an Airbnb in Montmartre, probably Martre, but Montmartre. The other night, I woke at 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, and when I came out, a little girl was standing in the hallway between the mirrors and a blank. Her energy was bright and cheerful, and she said, "Hi." Let's just say that she was a lot happier to see me than I was to see her. I think she wanted to play. In my head, I said, "Oh, hell no," and shut the hallway door between the hallway and bedroom and went straight back to bed. That was 2 nights ago, and I haven't seen anything since. I'm pretty sure this 1865 apartment building has to be haunted besides the little girl, but because of all the human noises, it's hard to tell what is what. I'm attaching a couple pictures for review. Ooh. Oh yeah. If I had to guess, I think the little girl was playing with the blank. Let me know if you pick up on anything. So we're going to go ahead and do the question first.
Okay.
So
Well, you're not
you
going to
can
show us the
see-
picture?
No. Question. What toy does Natalie think the little girl was playing with in the photo she sent in? Was it A, a Lego castle, B, an old Barbie-themed flashlight, C, a creepy wooden horse, or D, a small, super old tricycle?
Oof.
Okay.
So she's in France.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The French don't like to clutter their homes with frivolous toys. And an Airbnb, I wouldn't expect it to be like a modern-ish toy.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, the mention of its build date in the 1800s tells
Right.
you that at the very least, it's probably decked out to be like a
Right.
an era building that you would stay in, which points towards the wooden horse.
I feel like it's the tricycle, personally,
Tricycle.
which would be creepy as well.
Right.
You know, because it's not out of the ordinary to like maybe have like one of the really antique like tricycles.
Sure,
'Cause
sure.
I know your parents in the mountain house, they had an old tricycle. that
It's
they-
actually a tricycle horse.
Oh, that's even worse.
The plot thickens. Yeah, you know, and France being a very bicycle
Yeah.
and wheeled vehicle kind of place does sort of fit into that. The penny farthing kind of bicycles come to mind, the big wheeled, front
Yeah.
wheeled bikes kind of thing. Unfortunately, it's not the thing that you can suss out because the choices are
Right.
kind of there. I do like Barbie flashlight just because I think that's funny.
Yeah.
That would be enjoyable if it was a Barbie flashlight. Which, when you think about it, late night going to the bathroom, having flashlight available to people who are moving around in the Airbnb in the dark,
Sure.
having a little flashlight for maybe kids to see their way, or a little night lighty kind of thing.
I'm gonna go tricycle.
Okay.
I think I'll go with you. Tricycle.
Yep.
All right, we got 2 for tricycle. Let's go ahead and read it. The other night, I woke at 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, and when I came out, a little girl was standing in the hallway between the mirrors and the horse.
Should have gone with
Your first gut
my
instinct.
first gut instinct.
Yep. So, Chris will go ahead and spin for you.
Okay.
And 8.
8 it is.
Yep.
Don't know what it is, but still don't know what it is. It seems to be some kind of cola, cherry cola.
It's Pepsi Nitro Cola.
Oh, Pepsi
Yeah.
Nitro Cola.
Pepsi Nitro Cola. So
it tastes very.
you go ahead and take 8 out. I think it's fair to that once the drink is entered, if you land on the same number, you don't have to do anything.
No.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's fair.
All right, Maddie, let's go ahead and spin for you, and we got a 7.
Why is it red?
Done.
Why is it red?
Done. Done. Da, da, done.
Oh God! Why? Ew!
Go for it.
I'm gonna cry. Oh, why does it smell like that?
Go for it. All of this was bought in like a real a store. I didn't make it.
That is vile.
Is it apple
What
cider
she
vinegar?
just tasted was clamato, which is
clam tomato
is clam
juice.
tomato juice. You just took out our worst contender. Congratulations.
Wow.
That
Those
was
are 2 of the things that I hate most in this world.
Good Lord.
oh god. Debria's like, oh Lord.
I'm gonna have to cut my tongue off
man.
now. Thank
All
you for
right.
that.
Yeah. Oh, here are the photos.
It doesn't die.
Those are the photos.
Let's see, if you're showing us
Yeah.
the photos, it would have been a lot easier for us to guess.
I know.
Nice.
Yeah. Those are the photos of the wooden horse. All right. On to the next one. That was fun. I like that one. That was great.
I can't get the seasonings out of my teeth. They linger.
Okay. Here we go. Let me get to the next story. All right.
Hold on. Who willingly drinks clamato?
Yeah.
I think it might actually be something you add to like a Bloody Mary
I've
thing.
heard that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
think.
is. That's
I mean,
exactly what it is.
It would make sense that
You
it
shouldn't,
Would, you
though.
would pour alcohol over it.
That's
Kill it with alcohol.
Yeah, it needs that. It feels like it's alive. There's too many things going on with that, and it won't. The taste doesn't go away.
Yeah.
It does not go away. So if you drink clamato juice, you might be a serial killer.
Yeah.
Everybody has different tastes, and
No sane person is drinking that.
All right. We're going on to the next one. This one comes from Yvonne, and it's called Ghost Grandpa.
Ghost Grandpa.
Oh, yeah. All right. Ghost Grandpa. Hello. Just started listening to your podcast. Thank you, Andrew Tate, for introducing me. I have a weird story about my grandfather. We were never close, but I saw him often as my mom took care of both my grandparents. He passed away from a stroke when I was 13, and it was a traumatic experience. When I was in my 20s, I was coming home from college when I saw him standing on the corner of the street I was on. I did a double take, and he was gone. Then I immediately smelled blank, as he was a blank. I have no idea why this happened, and every so often I smell blank, so I think he's keeping an eye on me. Thanks for reading.
Well, I don't know what he smells like or things like that, but that's sweet.
The classic one is cigarettes.
Yeah, usually cigars,
cigarettes, smoke.
Yeah.
There's also alcoholics, so you could smell the smell of
So
alcohol.
Where does that come from exactly? How is a paranormal, like how is an entity a bit like able to keep a scent on them for as long as they are here? Like I understand demons and sulfur because that's that's hell, but I don't understand necessarily how an entity would have a certain scent on them.
Well, one way to think about it is scent is the most linked to memory of the senses.
Okay.
More than sight, more than anything else, the smell actually is linked to your memory. So when you think of memory, not as the function of the mind, but a testimony to something that was from the past, the things that could appear, a scent might come through stronger than a visual or a physical sensation. You hear this all the time. My grandmother wears a special perfume, and I smell it every now, because what has happened is they've been identified by scent. You know it's them because of the scent, which might be just that cross-pollination of their presence and your knowledge of who they are. But famously, there are several ghosts in Savannah who appear through the smell of smoke, through the smell of whatever, which then suggests that a shared memory, a memory that multiple people can kind of bring into essence, is how we can still register a smell as a means of communication.
Oh.
Because we always talk about like hearing voices or hearing things and like that, but spirits don't have mouths. They don't have vocal cords. They're not making their vocal cords move and formulating with their mouths. So they're using sounds that are around to kind of focal and manipulate what we hear.
Okay.
That's something important to remember. When something touches us, they don't have bones or skin or muscle. So they are using some kind of supernatural effect on the environment to make us register and sense it. So that would be the same with smell. They're using the environment to create a scent by means that we don't know or understand.
And then sometimes too with residual hauntings, if somebody was a smoker, or same thing with those spirits in Savannah, oftentimes you see it in the men's parlors, that you smell the cigar smoke, and in the women's parlor, it's a lot of times perfume or floral stuff, things that would have happened in those rooms a lot. It kind of just leaves an impression behind, and that's
a structure.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell you because you know what it is. What scent did Yvonne smell that reminded her of her grandfather? A is cigarette smoke. B is cigar smoke. C is bourbon. D is a specific type of cologne. I lost my train of thought there. Actually, but those are no, hold on. No, okay, no, I didn't. So if you were going to try to contact somebody, right? If you were going to try to contact somebody, and let's say, none of those options. Let's say you take, if you're trying to contact me, and you put a glass of 18-year-old scotch on the table, or rogue dead guy. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
When the bugs are attracted to a liquid, that's horrifying.
There's a little gnat. Yeah. But anyway, like if you're trying to contact me and you put like an 18-year-old scotch on the table, would it help to do that? Like to actually bring me through through the Ouija board?
Not necessarily a Ouija board.
Or
but
with a Ouija board.
With anything that if you've got cues, and that's what we call them, era cues or personal cues, things that are directly linked to a spirit, like what's their favorite food, what's their favorite scent, what's their favorite, a book that they love. If you put those things out in the open, the energy suggests that the very presence of the item triggers a series of energy responses that can make it easier for a spirit to present itself. You know, a lot of people think of it like a trap. You know, I'm going to draw them to this thing, and it's really just about creating a situation where the environment is more amenable for the spirit to communicate, because there's something that links it.
Well, in the case of you, like us leaving out scotch for you as a spirit, that would be leaning more into the side of like leaving an offering.
That's true.
You know, and
that's not what I mean, though. I mean, if you were sitting around a table conducting a seance with the Ouija board, would it be, because the worry about all of this is that you bring the wrong thing in, right? That's why you don't mess. That's why I don't mess with the Ouija board. I don't want to bring the wrong thing in, right? You know, and so would it be helpful to have something out that was strongly related to that person, to bring the right thing in?
Well, I mean, if they had like, so like, let's say if you had like a bottle of scotch that you had your entire life, and it was like a prized possession of yours.
It's not just random
scotch. That would be a good choice if you're doing something like that, because typically you want something that was owned by the person.
You do hear that a lot. Like, do you have an item that belonged to the person? Do you have an item that is important to the person? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it generally wouldn't be some blanket thing. You'd want it to be as specific as possible. Not to say that the blanket thing won't work. It's just the more specific, the more the energy is conducive for that for that spirit.
For that specific
spirit.
Spirit.
Right.
Cool.
Otherwise, it's kind of, on par with leaving an offering, which plenty of cultures do. If they knew like what that person enjoyed, they'll leave it on their ancestors' altar, or
absolutely,
at their grave, or whatever it be. So
many grave sites used to have just like a bit of food, left out for them, something to show honor and love, but also to keep that connection.
Awesome. All right. So y'all know the choices. I'm going to go ahead and go through them one more time so you know the ABCD. A is cigarette smoke, B is cigar smoke, C is bourbon, and D is specific type of cologne. What do y'all think?
I have to lean towards cigarettes.
Yeah, that's the most...
And, followed very closely by cigars. But I always think of cigarettes as more constant a thing that you do, and cigar. And I've never known a constant cigar smoker. Like, everybody who smokes cigars I know are special occasions. It's parceled out a little. They're not like... I've never known a chain cigar smoker.
Right.
But I have known many chain cigarette smokers.
Exactly. And it's like, if you really get like too into your head, you're like, well, maybe it was, somebody who just loved Cuban cigars or whatever.
Oh, sure,
and like that was something really special to them. But logic makes me feel like it's cigarettes.
All right, so both are for cigarettes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and rate it. Then I immediately smelled cigar smoke. As he was a cigar smoker.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but that's, you all were super, super close.
Well, and I was,
but no cigar.
Like, who takes care of close but no cigar? Nice.
Yeah.
But who takes care of a person and lets them smoke?
Right.
At all.
Right.
All right. We got 2. Yay! All right, Maddie. Here we go, and we got. Doop, 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 doop.
Please don't.
7. You guys got out of it.
Oh, thank God.
All right. Good stuff. All right. Thank you, Yvonne. Very cool. All right. We are on to Sawyer. I really love this story. All right. Here we go. This comes from Sawyer. He's written into us before. And it is called Raggedy Ann Story.
Oh, excellent.
Hey, I saw your recent One to Wicked episode about Annabelle and thought I'd share my sister's experience with you. Pictures are included.
Great.
Yeah, this guy always includes pictures. I love that. All right. So my sister, who I mentioned in my previous email, used to work at an antique store in our hometown in Michigan. While working here, she ran their social media account and cataloged all of their antiques on their online store. As an added benefit, while working there, she was allowed to open her own booth inside the store and sell some of her own antiques. Since there weren't many employees, she quickly started working their full days, often being the first one there in the morning and the last one out at night. This means that she was the last one to see where things were at night and the first one there to see where things are in the morning. The store was always flowing with new items. Often they were typical antiques like furniture and art, but sometimes you'd get a strange piece that had heavy energy to it. This piece in particular was a Raggedy Ann doll. Every few years, the Raggedy Ann dolls were redesigned. The doll that arrived at my sister's work was the exact model as the Annabelle Raggedy Ann doll. Pictures below for reference. This doll sat upstairs in the area of the store setup with other toys from the 1970s and older. My sister often worked upstairs since that was the same floor her own booth was located. She said that she would walk past the doll and notice that it would be in slightly different postures. One instance of this happened while she was working in a different section upstairs with a lot of furniture. She was reorganizing a display shelf that had a large mirror next to it. In the mirror's reflection, she could see the area of the antique toy section. She bent down, placed something on the shelf, and stood back up. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw that the face of the Raggedy Ann doll was now staring at her through the reflection of the mirror. I knew Chris's. When I was reading this, I was like, Chris is gonna be like, nope. It's a good story. The doll, previously sitting up straight, was now bent over to the side just enough to see her in the mirror.
Blended.
While this doll was here, other strange things would happen. While this store is locally recognized as being one of the most haunted buildings in the area, activity was largely centered around the doll while it was in there. Children would run downstairs in a panic, saying that the doll moved while they were next to it. One child even said the doll lunged at them. Kids said they felt uncomfortable while being around the doll. After hearing all of these reports, I went to the store to visit my sister and investigate the doll myself. I remember feeling like I walked through a thick and heavy cloud when I got in the area of the doll. I didn't dare touch it or get close enough to try. Like I mentioned previously, my sister would sometimes close the night before and open the next morning, being the last one out and the first one in. She would do her rounds in the morning to turn on signs and unlock doors. It happened a few times within a couple weeks, while items in her own booth would be moved in very strange locations and positions. There was a pointing hand on a display rack that would frequently be the item that was missing from its normal location. She would often find it sitting on a nearby table pointing at something. Pictures below for reference. If memory serves me right, she told me that a woman bought the doll and said she was instantly attracted to it when she walked into the store. Best, SW. P.S. For you guys, the store's name is Holly Antiques. It's worth a quick Google search. The whole downtown of Holly, Michigan is very haunted, including the Holly Hotel and the arcade antique store, which tragically burnt down last summer.
Wow. Oof.
Wow. Looks like that's got to be added to the list. Put it on the board.
Yes, put it
on the list.
Added
to the list. All right. So we got some great photos. Here we go.
Boy.
Yeah, if y'all want to, you just scroll right down. So that's the Raggedy Ann doll right there. We'll include this on the YouTube video.
Yeah, that's definitely creepy.
There's the hand.
That was a great story. I love that story. I'm definitely going to be wanting to visit Holly, Michigan.
Very.
Yeah.
Weird.
Creepy stuff, huh?
Very. I like those sheep though.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
So now we're shopping.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. All right. Are y'all ready for the question?
Bring it.
What year was the first Raggedy Ann doll introduced? A, 1966, B, 1981, C, 1915, D, 1938.
That's so tricky.
Could you say the years again?
It is A, 1966, B, 1981, C, 1915, D, 1938.
I'm not well versed on my toy manufacturer dates.
But he is, so I'd listen to what he's got to say.
I know. What do you have to say,
is
Chris?
1966 really sticks out in my brain,
Right.
like hard. But given the style of doll it is, certainly seems like it predates because it is very much a rag doll. 1938 makes a lot of sense to me because that is still in the Depression era, right before we went into World War II. Certainly the war was kicking up. 1908 makes sense, again, because it's a rag doll, a simple and easy thing to make.
1908, you said?
Is
It's
that what you said?
1915.
Oh, 1915.
That was the
sorry.
earliest date listed.
1915. I mean, like going all the way back to the oldest date makes sense, but the question was, what was the mass production of toys like at that time? These are hand sewn, I believe. Gosh, that's tough because I keep coming back to 1966.
Right.
Just in my brain.
That feels
However,
right.
that might be because we recently did a story on Annabelle, which might have been a trace date for that version of Raggedy Ann, because I think the story of Annabelle is like early 70s, 71. So it's like maybe that's just that version of Raggedy Ann. It could be the first Raggedy Ann.
Well,
I can't pin it. 1938 sounds good to me because I feel like it's something reasonable, because I want to say that Raggedy Andy wore a sailor's cap. And I think he came out after Raggedy Ann. And so if it was a question of 1938, and then we go into World War II, and he's wearing a sailor's cap. Of course, 1915 is right before World War I. However, I don't know that the sailor outfits were the same.
I know, it's troubling.
It's troubling.
So,
that's a difficult one. When was Raggedy Ann introduced?
my thought process is
Yes.
not as complicated. I am going to go with 1966 because that was the year that my mom and dad were both born. And I look at their toys that they still have, some of them, from when they were born to about when they were 5 years old, and they're horrifying looking. So, the stuffies of the 60s were creepy. And I think they just may have went through a trend of some sort in the 60s where everything was kind of supposed to look like Americana, like things like that. And, people were starting to get a little bit more money. That's my logic. I'm just going to go 1966.
So we got 1966.
What do I have to lose at this point? I've already drank Clamato
1938,
juice.
I guess
1938?
I'm leaning towards.
Okay. All right. The answer is 1915. I loved what you were saying, Chris. I was like, he's going to get it. All right.
I was thinking, just go to the earliest date. It's got to be the earliest.
Spinning for
Right.
Chris.
Spinning for me.
Spinning
What
for
could it
Chris. And it is three.
Three.
The one the Nat
Also,
has literally just been.
such little amount in there. Speaking of terribleness.
Oh, God.
Oh?
Oh, my God. Are you drinking all of it? Okay.
No, he's drinking all of it.
No, that's just mother's milk to me.
Mother's milk?
Soy sauce.
It is soy sauce.
Well, there
That's
you go.
mother's milk?
I'm Korean.
There you
Soy
go.
sauce
okay.
is a common thing in my household.
All right. Well, that was one of the nasty ones. To let y'all know,
It's
On
salty.
on its own though, like, is it good?
So-
So a lot of people probably never tasted soy sauce on its own. There's more sweet elements than salty elements, even though the salt comes to the rise. If you really take your time, there's a nice fruitiness to soy sauce.
yeah. Well,
everybody
okay.
take a shot of soy sauce at home.
Take a shot of soy sauce. Heard that. It is low sodium, though. I will say that. Okay. Yeah. So basically, the only reason we're doing this with liquid is because our Bean Boozled didn't come in
Oh no!
soon enough. So the next one we do will be with Bean Boozled Jelly Bean, and I want to get in on it. Where I think it's kind of unfair for me to be sitting here watching y'all do all this stuff, and so I think that we'll kind of like talk about it and see how I could potentially, eat the nasty stuff too if things happen in a particular way.
I have to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, have to figure it out. All right. Okay, here we go.
Wait.
We have to talk about the story because that story was wild.
I was supposed to drink something. I know the comments are just going to be like, Madison, you have to speak up. You have to be honest.
It's true. All right, we got a one.
One.
Why is it?
One.
Oh no, there's so little in there. It's got to be devastatingly bad.
I thought we got through all the bad ones.
Wait, the clamato was the worst.
Yeah,
So
it was.
You've gone for the
Clamato
worst.
was for sure the worst.
And that's apple cider vinegar.
That's vinegar for sure.
It's a type of vinegar. Come on, buddy.
It's good for you.
At first I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And then it chokes you.
Ashley
When it hits the-
Warner commented and said JT is unhinged.
It is.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's not that bad because it's sour, but it just like when it hits the back of your throat, it just
Yeah, it
like
burns, yeah.
No, it's not even a burn. It just feels like a hand, like reaching out and being like, yeah.
Y'all got through all the nasty ones.
Great.
So let's see what this is.
So we got we have one
Number
more
6.
we have one more question.
There's one more question.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's bring it.
So
I was just going to drink these all.
Ultra Para Junkie Nicole sent in a photo of something that happened in her hometown.
Okay.
All right. There was a sinkhole in Minneapolis, Minnesota last week, but they found something inside of this sinkhole. What did they find inside of the sinkhole? Is it A, a Raggedy Ann doll, B,
God.
a Chucky doll, C, a DVD of Poltergeist, or D, a crucifix?
None of those things do I want to find in a sinkhole,
No,
but
absolutely not.
And there's a photo of it once we're done.
okay. I feel like Poltergeist would kind of make sense in this way of, I don't know, maybe somebody buried the Poltergeist movie. Because wasn't there like a belief that like if you watch Poltergeist, like it could curse you or something?
Well,
Was
people
that one
believed
of
it
the-
was a cursed movie.
Yeah.
Because lots of people died, both around the production and in the production. That's a good deep dive we should do sometime.
Yeah.
Just
Good.
talking about Poltergeist. Poltergeist have freaky occurrences throughout, like right down to Carol Ann's death in Poltergeist
That's
3.
a great idea.
Yeah, we should
We
discuss
need
that
Yeah.
because there are many deaths involved in that.
So Saturday's episode is with Debria, and Debria. It's actually going to be Danish horror lore for
excellent.
Saturday's episode, and
Cool.
Madison has prepared all of that, and so, but Debria has a TikTok that is all about her watching the scary scenes in movies and reacting to them.
Fantastic.
Right? So I think we should have her back for the Poltergeist one. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool,
she'll
cool.
be here anyways. So,
Yeah.
if you don't know who Debria is, she sits and runs our tech stuff while we're filming this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the original
She's not going
Poltergeist, for some unknown reason, was PG when it came out, and I think I was 10. I went to the movie theater and watched it. that messed me up for a long time.
So I love that. I love that idea, Chris.
Yeah, let's do a deep dive onto
absolutely do
Poltergeist.
that.
So yes, that makes sense. I almost think that because of how outlandish it would be to find a Chucky doll in a sinkhole, because Raggedy Ann, I feel like we are on the Raggedy Ann train.
Right.
It's like this would be the third like inference reference of Raggedy Ann in a while. So yeah, and I don't think it'd be weird to find a crucifix. Honestly,
I don't think so either.
I think that people probably drop, bury, and lose crucifixes all the time. I mean, unless it's like a 30-foot tall,
right.
life-size crucifix, that would be weird.
Well, and also people put crucifixes when people die in car crashes on the side of the road.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Things
Yeah,
like that.
so there's plenty of reasons why you might find a crucifix in there. It doesn't sound weird enough to mention, not necessarily. And Raggedy Ann just seems too convenient. And the Poltergeist DVD, I think, makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. But also, what a small thing to find in a sinkhole.
Sure.
I mean, what size was the sinkhole? Because when I think of
Right.
sinkhole, I always think of a sinkhole that
I'm gonna tell
consumes
you,
a building.
Yeah,
It
consumes a
was-
car, or
No. About, I would say 12 feet by 8 feet. 12 by 8.
12 by
The
8.
size of our deck in the backyard.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what is it?
Poltergeist DVD.
Poltergeist DVD?
I'm gonna stick to Chucky, just
Chucky?
for
Okay.
giggles.
Y'all go ahead and check it out.
Or can you say it? Raggedy Ann.
What's going on? We should have known that. We always set it out into the universe and it comes back to us.
It's true.
And it's so funny because
so
the
small.
MPR News, who posted about it, doesn't say anything about the Raggedy Ann doll.
They're
They're
just
just like, here's a sinkhole. And I'm like, do you
But
not
there's
see
a-
what's in it?
That's a Raggedy Ann doll.
Maybe somebody had their own Annabelle
It's a
situation.
little Annabelle.
It's
little
Annabelle.
Annabelle running around.
So because
sunk
we
into
have
the
3
sinkhole.
left, and there are no more nasty ones, y'all just go ahead and choose.
Okay.
I don't even think we need to spin.
Okay. I'm gonna go 4.
Okay.
I'll go 6 and you can have 5.
Okay, I'll have
Yeah.
5.
Cheers.
Solange Navarre. Coke Zero. Yummy.
Water.
Water.
Is that rose lemonade?
That is rose lemonade.
Love rose lemonade.
Fentiman's rose. She loves it. She loves
Well
it.
played.
Yeah, that's the most delicious one. So yeah, it's I kind of did like a 1 through 4, like 1 being Clamato on the one side and the 1 being the
I
rose
deserve
lemonade.
to end on this.
You
because
do. Watch
I've
that
been
Clamato
You
juice down.
drank all the bad stuff.
I was so concerned that the Clamato juice wasn't gonna get chosen. I was like, no, it's perfect. I almost put Clamato juice in like 2 just to be a jerk.
It got chosen.
Evil.
I am evil, yeah.
Evil.
All right, that was awesome. That was awesome. So, yeah, next time we do this, we're gonna be doing it with Bean Boozled.
Bean boozled.
We'll be boozled.
Bean Boozled.
Bean boozled.
Woo woo woo.
Yum.
Now, is Bean boozled all weird flavors, or is it like
No.
every?
It's 50% great flavors and then 50% weird flavors, but each flavor has a doppelganger. Yeah.
So they knocked off Bertie Bott's every flavored beans.
Right.
From Harry Potter for sure, because that was the whole like premise of the Bertie Bott's was to be like earwax or caramel. It's like
So that gets here tomorrow. That gets here tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and
great.
knock that out. But yeah, this has been a fun season opener. Woo! Cool. Maddie, go ahead and close us out.
All right then. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching us suffer, or at least me suffer for a little bit.
Maddie suffer.
But thank you guys for listening. If you don't already follow us on social media, make sure to follow us on all platforms under Haunted City Podcast and things like that. But my name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Susi.
And stay spooky, y'all.